Well, Shalom Chavrim, I'm Steve DeNoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. It's March the 2nd, 2019. And of course, YouTube does not want you to know we're going live, even though we did take and post this just a little bit ago. I guess it'll take a few minutes for anybody to start watching. Right now, we have 0 watching. So I thought that was interesting, even though I posted this about 15 minutes ahead of time. They don't like to send you guys notifications, and I guess you just happen to have to see it live on the air before you're aware of what's actually going on. Let's take a look, though, seriously. We do have some very serious news that's happening. Some of this I shared with you just a few days ago, and that was this video here. Michael D. actually has this video up on his site here. This is in, near Sevastopol in Crimea. And it is a very, very long line of Russian military movement in this country here. There's also another Russian military equipment movement inside of Russia that was noted by another friend that we watched there, but it was involved in a car accident as well, a couple of the armored vehicles that were there. So we really don't know where that particular military equipment was heading. But this one here is in Sevastopol, inside of Crimea. Now, I bring that up only because of what is being brought out here by our good friend Lorenzo and already happened. This is U.S. Abrams tanks, several Bradleys, 47 Chinook and AH-64 Apaches, and Black Hawk helicopters there to be soon, but not seen or visible in the picture here on this train rail that went to Romania. All right, and I want to show you some of this. Here's your Abrams right here being loaded up onto the train cars or coming off, one or the other. I don't know which one exactly. At that, actually coming off the train car in Romania there. Now, there's a lot of different things that we could say about this as far as being in Romania. Has the equipment come from the Syrian theater? Has it come up through Turkey, through Bulgaria, and then in Romania by train car? Or is it traveling from, say, Germany towards Romania because of a possible conflict with Ukraine or even Crimea? When I say Ukraine, we're talking about the Donetsk and Luhansk republics over here on the far eastern side of Ukraine. Now, they're here in Romania. We do know, as I said, there was a huge armored convoy there near Sevastopol there. And we know the United States is already building a base over here near Odessa. The Navy Seabees there are building a U.S. base there. But not only do we have this particular military equipment, but we also have that just arrived as well in the same location. And as it was said by our good friend Lorenzo, the Black Hawk helicopters here, whole slew of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 33 helicopters, attack helicopters there in Romania. These are Apaches, if I'm not mistaken, that are now in Romania. Why so many? Is it again from Syria, or are they getting ready for something bigger in Ukraine? Now, I say Ukraine because we have this here from Fort Russ. They just put out this article here. Full Donbass sit rep. Ukraine loses nearly 40 troops in fighting. This came out yesterday. They have a lot of casualties going on over there in the eastern part. And yet at the same time, they have launched a massive number of attacks over on the eastern part of the Ukrainian people, the breakaway, as they call themselves, the Donetsk and Luhansk republics. So is the U.S. getting ready to help the Ukrainian people take back eastern Ukraine? And if so, are they going to go after Crimea at the same time? Could be. I don't know the answer to this, but could be. We already know in Venezuela, another hot spot on the maps right now. I don't have it up here, but we know that Maduro has just recently stated that they are partners with Russia, building Russian military equipment. They have contracts with them. This has been going on for quite some time anyway. It's nothing new, not any new knowledge as far as that goes. But is the U.S. willing to take on another war with Russia, have an interest there? I don't see Russia fighting for Venezuela, although Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. And I've had a good friend of ours that has shared with me many different things about Maduro, the bad things that he's done. But then again, look at what's happened to the Venezuelan people as a result of U.S. sanctions all the way going back to 2009. We have crippled this nation. No wonder why, after about 10 years, a decade of bitter sanctions on this little tiny nation, that they're begging for someone new to come in. I would be too, I guess, if I lived there. But here's some other things. This is from Stern, a German news source. A German news source says Putin's new rocket has surpassed the West's wildest expectations. He said the new Russian hypersonic rocket Zircon turned out to be much faster, more deadly than Western experts believed, writes Stern. In particular, 5 minutes would be enough for it to destroy, for example, the Pentagon. The journalist, the German edition, notes 5 minutes fired from a submarine, according to the article, and in 5 minutes they could have the Pentagon destroyed. Now, I'm only showing these things because I want you to see all these hot spots that are going on. We've already looked at Ukraine, possibly Crimea. We see there's a reason why. We know the U.S. is already digging in militarily. Russia's dug in. They took Crimea. And now we've got another issue. Russia demands U.S. military withdrawal from Al-Tanf region. That's been stated in the past. We know that. But there's some new things developing that we have not been aware of. On VK News, VK.com, we have this article right here coming out, this video footage here from Al-Tanf. Going into Al-Tanf, the Russians have sent in a convoy of buses to be able to pick up the refugees at a refugee center there in Al-Tanf. They are evacuating the refugees in Al-Tanf, Syria. It makes you wonder if the escalation is about to really get in earnest in Al-Tanf, Syria as well. Not only that, we have here the United States exported 50 tons of gold stolen from terrorists from Syria. This is an article on the mk.ru. The U.S. Army exports 50 tons of gold from Syria worth approximately $1.7 billion. According to the Syrian news agency Sana, the Americans received the gold from militants of the IG group banned in Russia. It says here gold was ransacked by militants in Iraq and Syria, covered by militants in the vicinity of the villages of Baghaz in Syria province of Deir ez-Zor, which is the last stronghold of the group in Syria and is completely surrounded, according to the agency. The terrorists offered the U.S. military gold as payment for getting out of the encirclement. Kurdish media, citing their sources as well as the network users, reported that U.S. Air Force helicopters had taken some cargo from this area. The operation was carried out at night. However, these reports are associated with information about stolen gold. The Kurdish news agency Bas News reported yesterday that the gold was delivered to the U.S. Air Force base near the city of Kobani, Ain Arab, in northern Syria and taken out by cargo aircraft. Seems like a lot of gold is being stolen. We saw that Maduro sent gold out. He sent it to the United Arab Emirates as well as to Russia. What is all this gold transfer going on around the globe? So there's a lot of serious issues at stake right now. Netanyahu also being indicted on 3 charges: bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. And I know there's other cases pending besides these. I know he really went out, he lambasted the media, saying that, in the left of the government, saying they did this just at the time of the elections. But in all fairness, even to the Prime Minister, that is a false statement. He knew about this. He knew they were going to go after him. That's one of the reasons why they wanted to do an early election. And of course, he's been trying to secure that by siding with the far leftist wing of the government in order to secure his future in the political arena. And many Israelis, especially those that are believing Israelis, even have spoken on our broadcast here, believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu will do something to bring about a war with Iran before the campaign so that he does not lose power in the nation. Now, I would say that that's part of the global plan. We know this. Always we go back to General Wesley Clark. He said Iran would be the last nation to be taken down. That's the last one left to go besides Lebanon. And Lebanon could go in hand, as we've been told before from some of our own sources there on the ground in Israel, that Lebanon, Syria, and Iran would be taken out, and in that order. And speaking of Hezbollah in Iran, I have intelligence that I've been given that the Iranians have actually developed a missile that travels 4 kilometers per second. 4 kilometers per second. I don't know, I'm sure the Israeli military is already fully aware of this, but I have been told that that missile may have already made it into the hands of Hezbollah. So, this is a very trying time headed for Israel. And instead of trying to make peace in the region, it seems more and more that the U.S., as well as those proxies that want to bring about a new world order, are going to have this war. And I think that has more to do with this than anything else, friends. Same thing with Venezuela. These are these countries that are the last holdouts that never would go along with the new world order. They are toppling these nations. These are the type of things, guys, we're going to be speaking about in this conference coming up here on March 30th. Please make sure you write that down, March the 30th, here in Orlando, Florida. Let me take you to our website, IsraeliNewsLive.org. You click on our website there. The first right here, the Coming Persecution Orlando Conference, March 30th, 2019. All right, so make plans to be there. The article tells you everything you need to know. Cost of the conference. You just click right there in the website. You make a donation. If you're coming with more than one person, of course, the donation for that amount. Just make in the description, though, because we have no idea if you don't put this down in the description. Put down that it is for the Orlando conference. If you are coming to the conference and you can't order online and you want to come, make a notation on that very article. Just click on the article. You hover over the name, the Coming Persecution. It'll turn red. Brings you to the article. Tells you where it's at. It's right here at the Embassy Suites by Hilton at the Ultimate Springs, Florida, 225 Shorecrest Drive. But you can also comment on the video, say you're coming, and say, I'll pay at the door. Can you include my name? We have limited seating. 150 people is our max. So we need you to comment on there. If you've commented in the website, I'll make the notation. If you've already made a donation and you have not heard a response from us about it, leave a comment on this website as well, IsraeliNewsLive.org, under the Coming Persecution article, that you purchase your tickets online, and I will confirm it also by replying to you in the comment section below. All right, so, you can always print off your payment that you made that in the donation there, and you can use that at the door as well. But we basically will record names or emails, however we see your information as it comes in. So we hope to see you there. Dr. Pigeon, my wife, myself, be speaking on some very serious issues that will be happening here in these final days here, this truly coming persecution. So we hope to see you there at this conference. And of course, if you want to support the broadcast, you can do so by visiting our website. Our address, DeNoon Institute, is there on the right-hand side, or you can help support online. And also in the description of this video below is our address and website address as well. Thank you very much. Very serious time. Tomorrow we're going to be putting some more things together for you. We've had a lot of sickness here in the family here in the last few days, so it's been kind of patchy putting things together. Yesterday we had a guest on, Dr. Lorraine Day. We didn't realize we were going to get into some of the areas there. My wife tried to kind of steer it back in because our main focus with Dr. Day and having her on our broadcast was to speak about the Noahide laws, because her husband was a congressman when those laws were passed, and we knew she had a lot of information about that. We did try to edit the video down some so it wouldn't be too lengthy. But anyway, this is where we were looking. Our focus was on that particular issue because it is very dangerous. The Noahide laws, what's coming, the persecution for the believers, and many Israeli believers are telling us the same. Once the war with Iran breaks out, once Israel is hit heavily by outside forces, that the persecution will begin in earnest against believers in Israel. So do pray for Israel. Pray for the people of Israel. Pray also that the eyes of the Jewish people that do not know Yeshua to be the Messiah, that their eyes will open, that we might be able to win some of them to Christ rather than the Antichrist that is on his way. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun with this Israeli News Live. Erev Tov in a world of Ein Shalom. There is no peace. Good evening.